Okay, let us move on further about DNA. There is a concept, what we call central dogma, which was working very well in the earlier days, but there are some exceptions to that, the present scenario. But let us know more about what is this central dogma means. So, this concept was first proposed by Francis Crick in the year 1958. According to this concept, the central dogma means there will be a DNA. That DNA can duplicate itself. That means it can make copy of itself. Then this DNA will be converted into RNA. That means there will be a double-stranded DNA. This will be converted into single-stranded RNA. This will be converted into a proteins. So this was the concept. So DNA will be converted into RNA, RNA will be converted into protein. If you look at entire process, so this DNA through a process of transcription, it will be converted into RNA with the help of enzyme RNA polymerase. So this RNA or mRNA will be copied into protein with the help of a translational machinery. The translation requires the help of a translation factors as well as ribosomes. That means the final expression, this entire thing you can call it as a gene expression. That means a DNA which makes RNA, from RNA to protein. So the DNA can make its own copies. So those DNA copies are copied to RNA. Those RNAs are copied to protein. That means the language of nucleotide is converted into language of protein. So this entire process of conversion of a language from nucleotide into protein, what we call it, is a central dogma. But does the central dogma always apply? So that's a big question. But no, in the present scenario, there are viruses known as retroviruses, or else if you look at what you call the present COVID-19 virus also, to what these viruses are doing, they are converting this RNA viruses. So it's genetic material RNA. So it will convert this RNA into DNA with the help of enzyme called reverse RT enzyme, that is called reverse transcriptase enzyme. So it can make the complementary DNA, and so this is the exception to this Francis Crick model of central dogma. As for his theory, the DNA will make RNA, RNA will make protein, but there are possibilities. Now RNA can make DNA, that DNA can make further RNA, from there it can make protein. So all the possibilities are there. That means DNA can be converted into RNA, RNA can be reversed back to DNA with the help of enzyme called reverse transcriptase, that is mainly found in retroviruses. Let us move on to another concept. So we all talk about DNA, but who confirmed DNA is a genetic material? Because we are concentrating more on DNA, because DNA is our genetic material which stores all the information required for working normal metabolism of a human body. But there was no idea what is this DNA. So there was no idea about what is the genetic material of human beings. So in I think in 1860s, late 1860s, there was an idea there is a DNA inside the cell, but no clarity on whether DNA is a genetic material or not. In 1952, Alfred Hershey and Martha Chase, two scientists, they have done one experiment to confirm DNA is the genetic material. That means they just want to confirm DNA, not the protein, is a genetic material. They confirm this thing, DNA is a genetic material, not the protein. For that, what they have done is they took a bacteriophage. You know the bacteriophage, T2 bacteriophage they took. What is bacteriophage? The virus which infect bacteria, we call them as bacteriophage. They took this bacteriophage. Then what they've done is they took same bacteriophage. One is labeled with a phosphorus 32. That means a phosphate. So phosphate means a DNA. That means in one bacteriophage it is DNA labeled. And second bacteriophage they took, they labeled as 35, that means sulfur 35. Sulfur is found in cysteine, that means in protein. So one bacteriophage is a protein labeled, another bacteriophage is DNA labeled. Then they cultured a bacteria. To that bacteria they allowed this bacteriophage to infect. That means one plate they allow sulfur labeled bacteria to infect, another plate they allow phosphorus labeled bacteria to infect. So after the infection, after a few hours, what they've done is they disrupted this one cells. So what happened? This bacteriophage will go inside, that means inject its DNA inside the cell. It makes its progeny, that means next generation of bacteriophage. Then what they've done is they mechanically blended it and disturbed, and then they've done the centrifugation. When they do the centrifugation, they found this one, what you call labeled contents are only in a bacteriophage where it is phosphorus 32 labeled, but not in case of sulfur 35 labeled. That finally confirmed that the DNA is the genetic material, so it is transformed or moved from what you call bacteriophage into the bacteria, from the bacteria into the next generation of bacteriophage. So but in case of protein, it is found in the what you call coat, the protein coat. When the DNA is injected, the protein coats are separated, but after centrifugation there was no sulfur in the cells, but here there was a phosphorus in the cell. So through this experiment they confirmed the DNA is a genetic material, but not the, it's a simple experiment. They took two bacteriophage, one is labeled with sulfur and that is labeled with phosphorus. They allowed that bacteriophage to infect a bacteria, then they separated bacteria, they analyzed the progeny, they done the centrifugation, analyzed the progeny, they found only phosphorus 32 labeled infected bacteria had the progeny of phosphorus, the labeled progeny, but in sulfur 35 there was no labeling. So with this they confirm DNA is a genetic material but not the protein. So if you move further, so this is a simple slide I put just to explain that bacteriophage. So if you move further, there is another experiment which is done by Frederick Griffith in 1928. This is done much earlier to 1952 experiment. So what this Griffith done, he has done experiment to prove that there are genetic material which can move from one bacteria to another bacteria. It can transfer its genetic information from one bacteria to another bacteria through a process called transformation. He just want to confirm this transformation. You know, right, presently we are facing a pandemic. The same thing in 1900, earlies of 1900, there was a Spanish flu. Soon after the Spanish flu's pandemic, the people are dying because of pneumonia. So this man took this pneumonial strain, Streptococcus pneumoniae strain, which infect and kill human beings. So he took two strains. One is called a rough strain, another is called smooth strain. This rough strain is a non-virulent which cannot cause a disease and it cannot kill the individual, but a smooth strain which has got a polysaccharide coat outside, so it looks very smooth and which can escape from the human immune surveillance, so it can infect any animal or human beings and it can kill. So he took two things, one is a rough strain, another is smooth strain. So then he took experimental mouse. He just injected this rough strain into the mouse, and after he observed that mouse, there was no problem happened in mouse lives. But then he took another mouse, then he took a smooth strain and injected it into the mouse, and after he kept it for observation, and mouse dies. Mouse develops symptoms and pneumonial symptoms and mouse dies. So then what he has done is he took this smooth strain and he just heat killed it. He just boiled that strain. So what happened when you boil bacteria will die. So this dead bacteria he injected into the mice, another set of experimental mice, but mouse lies. That means in case of rough strain, nothing is happened to my mouse because it is non-virulent. But when he injected smooth strain, so virulent, it kills this mouse. But in case of third case, what is he just boiled the bacteria, same virulent disease causing bacteria, he just boiled. Heat shock is given to that bacteria, so bacteria is lost its virulency. So then he injected mouseless. But later what he has done is he took this rough strain, which cannot cause disease, non-virulent strain, but he mixed with what you call heat kill strain. That means a rough strain plus heat killed smooth strain. Then he injected into another set of mice. Mouse dies. You might be thinking why this phenomenon happened. Initially when he injected heat kill, nothing has happened. When he injected rough strain, nothing has happened. But when you mix two and inject, the mouse dies. Very strange phenomenon. So from this he confirmed the genetic material which is found in the heat kill strain entered into the rough strain and converted rough strain into smooth strain and kill this or develop symptoms. So that means a bacteria can transfer its genetic information through a mechanism called transformations. So in the entire chapter we studied what is central dogma. The Francis Crick proposed this central dogma. DNA converted into RNA, RNA converted into protein. So this process is called central dogma. There is an exception in retrovirus, that is called reverse transcriptase, where DNA is made from RNA. But there was another experiment which is called as Hershey-Chase experiment, where he took the labeled bacteriophages to confirm DNA is the genetic material, not the protein. But another experiment conducted by Griffith in 1928, which proves a DNA can transfer its genetic material with the help of mice. Thank you.